fuck is that?
Oh, Shitty Boys? One of the hardest groups out of Detroit. No Kizzy.
That's this man named Shitty Boy?
Yeah, there's three of them. Shitty Boys. With the Z at the Z instead of an S at the end. Shitty Boys. SHITTYBOYZ. Shitty Boys. There's three of them niggas. Stanwell, TRD, and the best out of the three, Babytron. He the GOAT. He definitely next up. That's facts though. Babytron next up. I honestly like if nigga like this shit when this shit finna blow up, we finna have Shitty Boys on here. Shitty Boys. You gotta hear them niggas rap. You gotta listen to all the shit they've been pumping out the past 2 years. Everything they, yeah.
How the hell you listen to a group named Shitty Boys?
Oh shit, dude, bro, them niggas is the real thing, man. I gotta tell you what, 3 young niggas out of Detroit, you know what I'm saying, and they just doing the thing, bro. Like I promise you gotta listen to them, listen to their shit, especially like the shit from the past 2 years, bro.
I don't know,
shit,
fam.
crazy.
I
know y'all out there who listen to Shitty Boys know what I'm talking about. Tell this nigga he gotta listen to Shitty Boys.
You're literally telling me to listen.
Yeah, I think initially for a lot of people, it's getting around the name. It's like, oh, but you don't even focus on the name once you hear them rap, and then it's like the name is cool. Once you hear these niggas rap and you see what steez they on, you know what I'm saying? Shitty Boys. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all listen. I know y'all listen to Shitty Boys. You got it. You know what I'm saying?
Shitty Boys, huh?
Shitty Boys.
They're not the artist of the week, by the way.
They are not the artist of the week, but we'll be getting to that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Culture Clown Season 2, Episode
7.
That's
7 for all our English speakers out there.
Yeah.
And for the Spanish speakers that think I fucked that up completely.
Probably. We got to get on that Espanol. I mean, we live in California. I'm pretty sure like either the majority of the population of California is Hispanic or at some
what's
point
wild?
Probably will be.
On my application, I have speak Spanish, but then I realized how unspecial that is when you literally have a whole, basically, metropolis that speaks Spanish.
Yeah, you know, like it's like dude, that doesn't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, okay, you're a black dude who speaks Spanish. Okay, like Tommy Lee Jones is like 80 years old, whatever. He fucking speaks Spanish. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a thing anymore. But yeah, with the it's very interesting. Have you noticed how like when talking about ethnicity, like in these forums now, whenever they ask you for shit, like it says Hispanic or non-Hispanic. Have you noticed that?
That's always been the thing.
But that I'm trying to understand that, because are they trying to say that there's only 2 ethnicities, Hispanic and then non-Hispanic? Because I don't understand that, because there are it's multitude of ethnicities.
So I don't really, there's a reason behind it, but I'm not really 100% sure on what said reason is. But basically, you have a lot of mixed children out there, right?
Right.
So you have a lot of mixed people and a lot of people that says I'm part this, and whatever. So when you're filling out your ethnicity, it's like, oh, I'm black or I'm white, plus Spanish and non-Hispanic. Honestly, I don't know if that's the exact reason, but I know that, I don't know. If y'all know why there is a non-Hispanic section on any kind of thing form you fill out, please let us know in the comments below. We definitely want to know.
Hell yeah, please let us know, because that's been racking my brain since like the start of the year, because I noticed it like.
So what do you put?
Oh, I just tick non-Hispanic, because it only
I'm saying, like, what do you put when you're like filling out the forms, like in terms of.
Like I mean, it could be for employment. It could be like.
I'm saying like in terms of race, what do you put?
Oh, I put like African American or black.
Oh,
Afro American, black. Yeah.
You know it's why? Because I asked that because I don't know, because you're from Africa, but you're not a fully American either. So that's why I asked.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So some of them specify. Some of them will say, African American or black. Like they'll specifically say all black because they realize you could be like African American, like me, where it's like I'm not American yet, but I am an African in America. In America, and I come straight from the continent. Because I know they also sometimes they be saying they'll sometimes have like Caribbean as well. So it's like, okay, you could be black, but still, oh yeah, I've seen it a few times. You could be black, obviously, but you're in the Caribbean, so it's like you now have a different identity pretty much to most other black folks who come from the continent. Like their differences that have changed, things that have changed over centuries. You know what I mean?
Wait that 1 second.
Yeah, and he's destroying shit. It's typical. You can't let Negroes anywhere. Anywhere they go, they just gotta fuck some shit up.
I love how you just sat here like a sad puppy, like I don't know what to do.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be like, hey, it be like that, bro. Sometimes you be like, damn, when my man's at, bro? Like, I can't tackle this myself. I'm not Dave Chapelle. I can't be carrying this shit on my own. You know what I'm saying?
So what's been up, man? How's life? How are you feeling right now? How's your mental and your physical and all that espionage, all that shit?
Oh man, it's honestly this week, has been me like just trying to get my strength back, because last week was such a crazy week, like being on set and stuff. Mm-hmm. It was just really, really intense. It really took up a lot of my time, and 16-hour days. 16-hour day on set's no joke, bro. You really gotta.
Are you gonna strike?
You know what I'm saying? I support the IATSC. You know what I'm saying? I'm pro union. You know what I'm saying? Solidarity with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I fully understand where they're coming from, because as an actor, I spent 16 hours on set, okay? And I was expecting maybe 8 to 10 hours. But now it's like, as an actor, and there's going to be plenty of time for me to just chill and not do anything, eat the crafty, which is like the food that they have, you know what I'm saying? Whereas if you're crew, you're working the whole time, bro. But before I get to set, you've probably been there for an hour already, having set shit up. Mm-hmm. And then once we're done, you guys still have to, pack up everything, which is going to be like another hour. So however long we are on set, you guys are going to have like an extra 2.5 hours probably. Mm. So for me, the 16-hour day the other day, they were probably doing an 18 to 19 hour set, which is really just crazy. That's in my mind, that's craziness. Like it's craziness. And I know that the union has been like stipulating a lot of stuff, saying like, no, this is what we want. Like, we want a proper meal break. We want a 10-hour
no more working lunch.
Yeah, right. No more. Oh yeah, working lunch. Or okay, guys, we're gonna cut the lunch from an hour or 45 minutes to 30 or 25. Like, no, like give people the proper, and also like the turnaround time. So once they've packed everything up and they've left the set, like they need to give everybody a 10-hour turnaround time before they're back on set again working. Before the crew's back on set again working.
So I've been on like one big major set, and I didn't notice they didn't have crafty, or I didn't notice that they had crafty, but I was also doing extra.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't notice that they didn't have craft services.
That's pretty crazy, dude.
But that's something I also want to. Yeah, that is real. Yeah,
that's a violation of your rights, man. They're working you out there, bro.
Man, bro, they had me looking like I was in the mud, bro. It was cold. It was raining.
Yeah, sounds like
I got to meet Chris Rock though.
Oh, that's nice.
And Christian Bale.
Yeah,
I guess that was the perk.
He said I got to meet The Rock and Christian Bale. No.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Yeah, sorry, Chris Rock. Yeah, Chris Rock and Christian Bale.
But yeah, no crafty. And then we had finally got our lunch at the end, right, like 30 minutes before they went to call us to leave.
See, that's crazy. But that's how this industry be doing people, dude. Like I love what I do.
But I do ask this on all these big sets. Do crew people get to have the craft service?
Yeah. The craft service is there for everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
Because I've only been on small sets, except for that one big.
Oh, set. Yeah, no, like I mean, obviously I've been fortunate enough to do work with Paramount, HBO, etc. And I mean, in the industry in general. But obviously, with the big studios, crafty is a thing. You can go take whatever you want. You're trying to get a sandwich, grab a sandwich. You're trying to get tea, coffee. You're trying to get fruit. You're trying to get fruit snacks.
Oh, never mind. I take that back. I was on another big set. Well, it was like a medium set. It was like one of those. It's going to be on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
It's like a straight to Netflix type of movie. that I did work on, and they did have craft services, and the crew did dip into the craft service. So I take that back. So I have done, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
the
looking to get back. I'm
looking.
looking. I said I didn't. I never wanted to do background work again because of that experience. Because it was just like I felt like a piece of like just they were just there. Like it was.
Oh
weird.
yeah. That's 100% background work.
And then it's weird when you're sitting there and you're in your get up or whatever. You're in full costume. And you see all these big stars and all these people on set, and then you realize real quick the disparity in like status, power, and economics. Like really quick. Like oh man, that's Christian Bale, that's Chris Rock, and that's $500 million. That's $500 million just sitting right there that I'm in a scene with right now.
Yeah, bro.
And then, like, you notice the difference between, like, how the stars is, like, treated. Like, and then it's weird. And then you've been in positions, like, I want to be a fan, but at the same time, I ain't trying to be like this.
I ain't trying to dick ride.
No.
You feel me?
And my thing was, we was cool, we was joking and whatever, but it was like, man, like, I'm trying to be where you are.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not trying to, and it's like, I get the whole idolization thing. That goes away real quick when you realize there's nothing that you're doing right now in this scene that I can't do.
Exactly. And that's really how I felt like being on set with like Miles Teller and seeing what he was doing. I was like, bro, like this is shit that I can do. Like I can do this. Just give me the fucking role,
right?
And I'm gonna kill it. You
right.
know what I mean? Like like honestly, you know, obviously him and I probably wouldn't go for the same types of roles, but I mean just in general, like being on set with Tandy Newton, Aaron Paul, like just learning, like, nah, dude, like this is stuff that we can do really easy. And of course, we're trained for it. I mean, we have our degrees for this. You know what I mean? Right. So of course, we are trained for it. But
my thing is, I don't want to sound arrogant. I'm not sounding arrogant. Those guys are great for what those guys are great in their own right.
Yeah.
And it's not me. And I know it is a bit arrogant of me to say, oh yes, I can do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where you realize it's like I'm in a scene with an actor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this, and then you see them. Not to say that they did, they was good. But you see somebody mess up on their lines.
Yeah.
Or you see somebody not get their markings right.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do this. And it's like, damn, I can do this. And you see the director literally hold their hand through the whole scene, like feeding you like lines or whatever. It's like, bro, like there's nothing in here. There's nothing going on right now that I myself cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, like those people are very great in what they do, and I want to give them big props. And I hope to one day and be in my life be in a position to where I'm on set and be where they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm working towards in my life. But it's like, you sit there and you get humbled really quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Because you think you're doing something in your life, and then you sit there and you look, you got all this fake mud on your hands, but it's like, damn, you literally are sitting looking at the high class, and you sitting in the low class with like mud and shit all over you.
It's facts though, D. As a background, you really do realize, like, I all the work that I've gotten has been background, some of it featured background, which is great. Like you see me like the Hunter shit, and even for the Offer, even though it wasn't a featured background role, I was still featured quite a bit, so you still see me. But it's still like you're still with everybody else in background. You're still background. It's like, and because the real actors, they get trailers. They're in trailers, and
you one of those funny. So you know how I said it's raining and cold and shit, right? They getting their own umbrellas, people walking into the thing, and even like the minor stars have their own people with umbrellas holding their mask in like little plastic baggies, Ziploc bag. It's like, wow, you just sitting here like, damn, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
And then we just sitting here as the extras, huddled up in the little blankets that they like. Okay, next scene, cut. Okay, cool. Cool. You gotta go on the scene. You gotta go on the scene, and then I cut, and then so. You go back, huddle in the corner. It's cold as shit.
That's crazy.
And then what was funny is Chris came around. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'd rather be warm. I'd rather be cold and raining with a great director with a great script instead of being like on another set warm on a trash movie." I was like, nigga, shut up.
It's like, dude, you got your trailer. You got something.
Literally, y'all got a whole tent that y'all go to after everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, in terms of food wise, like, y'all can pretty much ask for whatever you want, and they'll go get it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, like, there's major differences between being background and then actually being like principal.
And the thing is, it makes you that much hungrier. And I think when I had that experience, it did make me a bit arrogant. And I hate to sound like I'm oh well, scratch it. I'm very arrogant. Like I'm very a proud person. And realize, dang, how far I am from where I want to be in my life is like, that is humbling as hell.
It really is.
Like, that is humbling as hell. Like, you're basically here. You realize you're here. Like, here. You're not even a fourth of the way. You're not even on the first step. You're still looking up at the stuff like, damn, them a lot of steps.
Yeah. It's a really crazy thing, and you know, those in the industry obviously already know the differences, but the people who like don't know, the people planning on getting into the industry, like, yeah, there's a lot of, you can tell there's a hierarchy on set. There really is like a chain of command, you know, between like the directors and the ADs, assistant directors, and then everybody else, whether it's grips, whether it's electric, whether it's you know, best boy, like whatever, lighting, you know.
You know what I like though, in that experience though, it was the fact that you got to be around you got to be in arm's reach of where you want to be, like these super celebrities, like the Chris Rock, Christian Bale. Like, I'm sitting on set in a scene with Batman and the first black president.
Hell yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, I'm sitting in the scene, literally in the scene right here, having a conversation with Chris Rock. Like, that was like the craziest thing. Like, I was starstruck at first when I seen him walk up. I was like, bro,
that's Chris
Rock. And then so I told, like, I was with somebody. I was like, bro, that's Chris Rock right there. And he walked up and I'm like, oh, dang, that's Chris Rock. And he was talking to one of the stars. And I was like, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it was John David Washington. He had his beard shaved. And I was like, bro, that's crazy. He's talking to this dude. This dude doesn't look older than me. And he doesn't. He really does not look. Like, with his beard shape, I did not know it was him.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And for me, it was like, wow. And then, so he's sitting here. He's having this conversation with us. He's, like, engaging. He's keeping everything. Like, we laughing, having jokes and shit, talking about films and stuff. And he was a genuine dude. And then Christian Bale got to speak with him a little bit. It was crazy. Like, it was wild just sitting there in the scene with Christian Bale and Chris Rock. And then,
you know, Bale's a veteran because he's been in the, you know, he's been in the game since he was a kid, bro. So he's been through all that shit. He knows what the industry's like. You know, a veteran. I don't know if I asked you how you're doing.
Well, no, it's cool.
That's my bad.
It's fine, man. You don't care. You don't really care.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's all about me. Focus here on this.
To answer your question, I'm good, fam. I'm in a good space. I'm learning. I'm trying to figure out what's my next moves in life. You know, I feel like I say that every week. But no, what I have came to a conclusion is this: I am in a position now where I'm trying to really push forward and like start my career in terms of like I want to do more acting, more comedy, and more writing. Like that's where I'm in my headspace, and that's why I'm trying to. Got some stuff I got to settle down, like get finished with. But I am in steps and taking proactive steps to do stuff like that. Like I told you that offhand that the comedy club, they open up and they actually have their open mics. Yeah. I want to go. I'm probably going to go there next week. Cool. Probably Monday or Wednesday and check it out and see what they got.
See what's up.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just in this space where I feel more creative. I feel like I'm free now to just do and be, and I'm kind of finding my footing with that. And so yeah, with that, I have good days, bad days, take them all as they come.
All right, that's what's up.
Anywho, you wanna go for a little this and that? Got time?
Let's do it.
All right. All right. For y'all that don't know, this and that is basically just a little segment that we want to incorporate in our show, where we basically ask this or that questions, and we would love to hear your opinions on these questions. So, first, this or that question that I want to ask you. Would you rather go forward 10 years or go back 10 years, but you can't change anything? You can only experience it. in time?
Shit, I'd rather go forward 10 years. Just because, like, there's shit that happened in the last 10 years of my life that I would not want to relive. If I'm being honest. Like,
no, it's exactly 10 years to the date before right now.
Yeah.
That you got to go back. You just go back and experience.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily that your life, you can go anywhere in the world those 10 years. It's just you can't change anything. You just can only experience that thing, whatever you go to.
So would it be like a situation where me 10 years ago still exists and they're still going on with their life, but I would be able to go back 10 years in the past and man, I just do whatever kind of shit I wanted to do?
No, you can't change anything. You can't take anything with you. You can only go back and experience it, like basically experience it live person. Almost in 4D. Almost.
I mean, shit.
Like you'll be there, and they may be able to interact with you, but nothing you do there would change the course of anything.
To be honest, yeah, I'd rather go 10 years. 10 years in the future.
Okay.
That would be interesting. I would want to go 10 years in the future, see where we are in 10 years. That would be very interesting. Now, obviously, I don't change anything. I'll probably follow myself around, stalk myself, see what's up, and just be like, dude, on some real shit. 10 years in the future, what would you do?
Damn, 10 years ago. What the fuck was I doing? What the fuck was even going on 10 years ago? Oh, people was worried about 2020. Nah, that was a year later. What the fuck was going on then? I don't even remember what was going on 10 years ago. I'm going 10 years in the future.
Yeah.
I think because I think it'd be fun because you get to experience like what's going on in the future. You get to like see what's going like how everything plays out. But the only thing is you can't take anything back from the future. You can only just go experience this as the future. You can't even say, "Oh, I have knowledge of this," because you can't even use any of that knowledge.
That's the thing. Yeah, you can't. Exactly. You really can't because you don't know. Yeah, the times could change. You know
something that's weird. I asked that question because I sometimes when I'm sleepy and tired, I go on YouTube and my YouTube page is littered with weird shit.
Yeah.
And so basically,
recommended. Yeah.
Basically, it was this video of this dude explaining how it was this Russian physicist name. What this dude name was? Damn. Hold on. Wait one second.
Take your time.
Oh. Damn, I don't know his first name. Oh, Igor Novikov.
Oh, okay. Igor, shout out, Mr. Novikov.
So basically, it was this Russian physicist named Igor Novikov. He came up with this theory that the universe is the time continuum is in a spiral. They will always self-correct itself. So no matter what you do, you can never change time. And they got into a whole discussion about the grandpa complex, the grandpa thing situation where you can go back in time, kill your grandpa, and then would you ever be born and all that. And then it was basically saying that, in theory, time would, since it's in a loop, it would always like self-correct itself. It's in a cylinder space or whatever.
Yeah.
You gotta and then it started getting real science.
No, he said then he started getting too complicated. So
no, it wasn't that it was getting complicated. It just got too complicated for me to explain back here in an educated manner.
To be honest with you, bro, like I definitely believe that. Like most people, I used to be of the opinion that time was linear. Yeah, it just goes in like one straight line until I realized that no, not really. It really is a spiral. It's circular. You know what I'm saying? It just continues.
It's another thing, and I kind of parrot this stuff. I have a lot of weird, interesting. Like I'm very much a nerd in the sense of like weird, like really hardcore theoretical stuff. So basically, there's another theory that what are they called? There's another theory out there basically that says since the Earth is surrounded by meteors and all this, there's a possibility that we've already been hit by multiple and just woken up the next day in another timeline. That's the thing. It's in astrophysics.
Really?
Yeah, astrophysics. Is it astrophysics? Yeah, I think
could be astrophysics. I mean,
I don't think it's astrophysics. It's one of the theoretical sciences.
I feel like there's definitely a dimension or an alternate universe where the Earth has been like destroyed by meteors. Because I definitely believe in alternate universes and alternate dimensions.
But you also said you believe that time is linear. So how does that work?
I used to. I used to
okay,
believe
gotcha.
that time was linear. Yeah.
For me,
now it's circular. But the thing is, like, because if a meteor did strike our shit right now, we would be dead. It's likely that
so basically the theory goes, the meteors, there have been meteors that have hit us, but since time goes on and energy goes on, our consciousness has just woken up in another timeline and time fragment to where the world kept going in that time.
I don't necessarily believe that. Well, I don't believe that we would have like woken up in a different thing. I just think that we are existing in a different timeline,
right,
where that never happened at all.
Right.
Because if that did happen, we would be dead. Like our consciousness would probably ascend to the next dimension where the spirits are and stuff, and people communicate with spirits, and they always tell people, "I'm okay, I'm happy where I am." But I definitely believe that in an alternate timeline, we probably got invaded by aliens. There's probably an alternate timeline where meteors got us. There's an alternate timeline where, I don't know, Michael Jackson was a serial killer.
Nah, you want to know something that's crazy though? Growing up, or even still now, and one of my favorite movies is The Butterfly Effect.
Oh yeah, with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, that's one. It's definitely on that list of top 25 movies of all time. Like it's up there for me.
Facts.
So I do have this strong belief that there is. So my whole belief of the world in its eternity is we have ample amount of choices, but a set destination, a set point. That everything that we do, no matter what we do, everything is planned out, and that like you can't plan out something. It's like how our lives go. Sometimes life, if you want to say the universe, God, whatever, there is a set destination. So there are certain things that have to happen in our life for us to go there. Yeah. And then at those points, you either go one way or go the other way, and those are those basic points that decide where your life goes to the next point. And it's like different checkpoints in your life.
That's
So with that, I do also believe that yes, there are multiple timelines and multiple time fragments where we made different choices at those checkpoints in our life.
Exactly.
Like I don't believe in chance. I do believe everything that happens for a reason.
Okay.
And there are certain points in your life that at these checkpoints, whatever, that you either go one way or the other way. You make one decision or another, and then so I do believe that you as your conscience is going in one direction, but there's also maybe another split somewhere where you didn't take that check.
Yeah. Yo, since you're talking about like time being circular and stuff, I definitely am of the opinion that like because time is circular, because it's essentially a loop, it carries on, essentially what has happened will happen again. What is happening was supposed to happen, and what will happen was always supposed to happen.
Right.
Essentially.
I do find it interesting. Like I'm not even gonna lie that I do find it interesting the whole time being in a loop, because I do feel like sometimes where it's like, man, I have like extreme amounts of deja vu occurrences in my life. Like it's so many times I'm just sitting like, dang, I swear I've been here before.
Facts.
I swear, dang. And and I know people get it, but I get it like it just hit
like it's
out of
crazy.
nowhere.
Like you'll be sitting somewhere and you'll be like, say on a set or something, and like you made a goal for yourself and you thought about it and you're like, whoa, I've been in this exact same moment, sitting in this exact same chair.
You know what happens the most?
Yeah.
And this is weird because this is why I don't really indulge like that anymore. Because here's my thing, because it's weird, it's scary. It's like, dang, am I like? So it happens a lot, especially around the times when I'm consuming a lot of weed or if I'm high. Like say for instance, if I got high tonight, I probably would have a deja vu because it's been so long. And no, my thing is, it's so scary, and it's so like for me, maybe it's just because I'm so anxiety ridden, quote unquote, that it's like, damn, man, it's just shit, fuck, like, damn, I've been here before. Like I remember one time I got so fucking high, like I tried dabs for the first time.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did that.
Oh fuck,
lit.
My friend. He was a white guy.
Of course.
Known this shit was.
It's always white boys.
Yeah. So basically, this what happened. We went on a road trip. He was like, "Yeah, bro." It was like spring break. He was like, "Yeah, man." And I want to take you to Missouri, back home with me, whatever, and we're gonna go chill. We're gonna whatever. And so basically, on a whole ride to where he stayed, in the state he stays, he stayed in, or he was going. We were going to Missouri. We were smoking the whole time we went there.
Damn.
The whole time, and then so we get to his homeboy house. Finally get there, right? And they go, yeah, yo, I got this pen. You want to try it? And I was like, what is it? It's Dale's. Like, oh, it's based, what else? Like, what is Dale's? It's like a concentrated weed. Well, okay, cool. So what I want you to do is hit this until the light goes off.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, that was the longest time a light has ever, bruh, I was.
And you don't realize, man, you sucking that shit in, and then it's game over.
It was dangerous, bruh, that light stayed on forever, and I'm just sitting there. And then so it finally went off. And when it finally, boy, it just felt like I was in the middle. It felt like a jet turbine was just spraying in my face. I'm like, and so I'm sitting there on the couch like this, and I can feel myself going down, 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 and I'm on the couch slumped, like just done.
You was slumped, boy. And you was smoking that Zaza.
Oh man,
it was off that Za.
And then so all I remember is them going to get something to eat, coming back, and then me just having extremes amount of deja vu that whole trip. Like everything was deja vu. I felt like I was there, and like everything was happening. It was weird. I was like, that was the first time I heard my heart beating. Boy, I was like, oh shit. Yeah. But I couldn't be a little bitch because I couldn't like, man, let the people know I'm a little bitch.
I'll be honest, that moment where you hear your heart beating, it's like, damn, bruh. It's like when you've done something you shouldn't have, and your mom comes stomping into the house. She's walking down the hallway, down the corridor. You're not supposed to hear.
You're not supposed to hear your heart beating. Like, and then like you can hear it, and then you're like, it's beating, it's beating, it's beating. And then so it got so that weekend we smoking, bruh. It got so bad. I was so out of it. I was on the couch playing Halo. We were playing Halo, and then like all those multiplayer games, right? You can hear the Halo soundtrack, and all you hear is, and so they have 4 screens, like when it's like a multiplayer, and so they have like 4 different screens, like 4 different boxes that you put in. So if my character was in the bottom left box, I'm looking at the top right box thinking I'm killing shit. I'm like, yeah, killing this shit. And then my homeboy goes, bro, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, what do you mean? I'm killing shit. He's like, no, bro, what are you doing? So I look down in the bottom box. My character just running into a wall and going in circles. So he just running in circles, running into walls and shit. And I'm like, fuck, I'm done with this game.
I can't do this shit no more, bruh.
But yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, deja vu is it's a very, very funny thing.
Yeah.
Sure. It's funny.
What about you? What's your most interesting high story?
Damn. Probably when I was in my undergrad at University of Cape Town, bro. One day my homies and I, we were like smoking in my homie's room, in like the dormitories, and obviously, you weren't allowed to do that. And there was a gang of us in there, bro. I think there was like 7, 8 of us up in that bitch, bro. Just smoking, toking, bro. And then there was this guy named Tim Lowe. He was basically like the kind of warden. He would look over the, look after the that specific dormitory. And like people kept joking out, this dude's gonna turn out, because he was a goofy looking white man, dude. Goofy looking white man in his 40s, 50s, taught maths at the university. He wore glasses, like just looked like a goofy, like wearing like sandals type shit, like. And so like we always used to like joke about it, like, and we had never been busted. Like it hadn't happened the whole time we were there and shit, and we would just always joke about it. Oh yeah, we can get busted. People would like come and knock on the door, and there was always like other randoms, like other niggas just looking for shit or looking for somebody type shit. And I remember one night we were just so high, bro. Niggas just finished cracking a joke and everything, bro. Next thing we know, open that bitch up. I think it was me. I think I opened that bitch up. And standing there is Tim Lowe with like another warden dude, bro. And I fucking bailed, bro. I was high because I was paranoid as shit, dog. I was like, wait. I like, I slip out of here. Yo, you've never seen a nigga slip underneath 2 fully grown males and then run down the corridor. Like, sometimes I swear if I was born in the United States, I would be like the starting running back at Texas Tech.
Bro,
I'm not even lying.
What if they tasered you in the middle of mid-stride? You,
because you think you're moving fast. They're like, no.
You think you moving fast and actually you moving slow.
Yo. So that for me was crazy because niggas was like clowning me after that. Like, you whole goof and shit. And I was like, I was just way too high that evening and I wasn't ready for that dude. And I was paranoid as shit. And yeah, bro. And after that, I just learned to chill out and whatever happens, happens, man. But yeah, I mean, my friend just got like a warning type shit because it was his room. The rest of us didn't get in trouble because we were doing it in his room. Like, but it's him, just him solely. But yeah, bro, that was just very, very interesting. That was a very interesting story for me, and just made me realize, like, hey man, if you token, you hotboxing in the university dormitory, you gotta be careful that shit ain't stanking up the floor. You know, the whole floor. Gotta make sure it ain't stanking up the outside because you will get caught. You know, so that's just a better advice for all you youngins out there.
Yeah, that whole towel under the door thing.
It doesn't work. We tried that shit. We really did. That shit don't work.
I have so many. Like, you know, I smoked so much in my undergrad. I have so many weed stories. Oh man, I could go on and on. I remember one time, me and my homie, we was hotboxing his car.
Yeah.
And bro, we mad and I'm like, just smoked out. And so we at this damn lake or whatever, dipped off whatever. And this cop pulls up. Knocks on the window. This is in the middle of Arkansas.
Shit, dude.
Cop pulls up. We're like, oh, fuck. So what I do is I sneak and try to ditch it, right? Whatever, right? He lets the window down. Cloud of smoke just pours out at the cop.
Like, it's clear y'all smoking in there.
He let the window down, and the cop goes, I kid you not, the cop goes just like this.
That's reasonable suspicion, my nigga. Gotcha.
Cop goes, ooh, you know you boys ain't supposed to be here after this time.
You boys out here smoking that loud. You ain't supposed to be here.
And then so it's like, so yeah, y'all know you. He goes, yeah, we sorry. We ain't know, whatever. It's like, all right, cool. Y'all gotta leave though. So he let us off the hook, and so he drives off.
Yo.
He drives off. Me and my homeboy, we sitting in the car. Fuck, what did he try to get us with DUI or some shit? What did he try to get us with shit? We paranoid as fuck.
Yeah, because he's like, he trying to trip you
and
up.
So
man.
what happened is he went and parked up the street. And he drove back, and you can see his lights pass, and I'm like, all right, cool. So just pull out smooth, and then so he pulled out smooth, and the whole ride back to the campus, it couldn't even be more than 10 minutes. We just sitting in the car like, damn, I hope this motherfucker.
Stressing, boy, this nigga ain't gonna blow you up with his lights, bruh. Yeah. Pull over. It's like, DUI.
But no, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. It was just the fact that it was fucking weed in the middle of fucking butt crack Arkansas. Like, shit. Like, bruh, we two minorities.
Yeah,
like he's Mexican and I'm black, and it's like,
hey man, trust me, I've watched enough episodes of Live PD to know what goes on when there's two minorities in a car and y'all smoking, and it's over. Them cops is getting you niggas. You going? All right, no, just step out the car for me. Don't worry, I'm just gonna detain you. You're not arrested, but you basically are arrested. They love doing that shit on Live PD. We're gonna detain you. No, the person's pretty much arrested. Just say you're arrested, dude. Like, just don't lie.
Boy, I've had so many scares.
So many. What's next on the?
Let's go ahead and ready to move. Gonna move to the questions with the clowns.
Yeah.
All right. Questions with the clowns. So y'all know how this goes. It's basically y'all time to link in and engage in the conversation with us. We want to hear your opinions and your thoughts and what you have to say. And we want to know what your take is on this question. And so for this week, the questions with the clowns question is, what's your opinion on the Dave Chapelle scandal, and do you feel like he should be canceled for the whole thing about his whole trans comments or whatever? First off, have you seen it?
No. For full transparency, I have not seen the whole special.
I have.
I've seen snippets of it. And obviously I saw what Dave had said following all the controversy and stuff, and yeah, so I'm aware of the situation. Yeah, but I haven't seen it stand up. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna break down the joke for you. I'm gonna break down what people are mad or my assumption of people.
Yeah, please.
Because I've been seeing what people are like. Oh, cancel it. Should cancel him. And so basically, in this show, there are a lot of LGBT jokes, and a lot of jokes not necessarily pointed towards the LGBT, but there's a lot of LGBT jokes that are like, if you're not listening or you're not really, if you just come in and pop in on it, there are a lot you can be very offended. Like I was watching it with my roommate the first time I tried to watch it, and he was in the other room, and he came in. It was like a bunch of like LGBT joke, gay joke in it, and I was like, ugh, this is okay. I'm gonna have to turn this off. I'm gonna have to turn this off. Yeah, this ain't cool. This I feel bad.
Yo.
Yeah, I feel bad. Dang, I legit felt bad because like, man, you like, okay, one joke after another. But then I rewatched it and I really listened to what he was saying. And when you really watch it and you really listen to everything he's saying, nothing he said was false, belligerent, or harmful. Like nothing if you really understand and listen, like take the whole I want to cancel you and like just really listen to what he said, it was in a sense him defending himself and like comments like in terms of I'm not a homophobe and I actually do like gay people and like and whatever, and it wasn't anything that was malicious, but you really and everything he was saying had to do more so with black and white issues more than him versus LGBT issues. But you would really have to like you have to actually watch. You can't just watch snippets of it. You have to watch the jokes. You have to watch how they were structured. You have to watch what was said and why they were said. In terms of the trans jokes, there did become a portion of the show where he did go heavily with how the trans community, he felt like they attack him a lot. And they felt like he was transphobic. And so basically goes in, he starts talking about how he's not transphobic. One joke in particular that caught my eye that I was like, maybe this is what they're talking about, is when he was talking about the whole restroom thing, where it's like in whatever they, how they have, you can't go to the restroom if you got to go there to your one that you're signing first. And so the thing was, he was like, well, why I wouldn't be mad about anything like that, and who is the joke really targeting, and you really have to be whatever. And so he was like, if that was to happen to me, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be impressed. I wouldn't be mad if some female to a male to a female came to the bathroom and like peed and whatever. If I was in there, he wouldn't be mad. And then also it was another joke where he was like saying, and then it was basically in that same little sequence he was talking about, for him, it nothing he's ever said, nothing he's ever said has been transphobic. It's always been about a black versus white issue and how he feels that he's always been targeted for saying transgender jokes. Long story short, if you watch the special and you really listen to every joke, and not even if you watch the special and you listen to every joke that he said that could be remotely phobic in any aspect. On my second watch, and when I was just watching it, because at first I was like, damn, this is fucked up. This is fucked up. This is really fucked up. Like, nah. But then I watched it again today, and I really listened to the jokes, and I got it. And nothing that he said was offensive. Nothing that he said was untrue.
Yeah.
And my point was this. I feel like people immediately got mad or wanted to jump to the whole cancellation card because it reached a diaspora of their beings or whatever. It reached a diaspora that hit close home to them. But the thing is this, and I harp back to this a lot. Comedy is not supposed to pull punches. Comedy is supposed to take real life and show you what real life is, and show you the contradictions and inequities of real life.
Mm.
It's not supposed to be soft. It's supposed to go right direct at the problems in the world
Mm-hmm.
and tell you these are the problems in the world.
Mm.
With that being said, I don't honestly, and even with that being said, I honestly don't see why people are mad. Because when I watched that special, he didn't say anything about trans people that would be considered offensive. Like, yeah, he got some little one-off jabs, like, oh, yeah, this and that was like, all right, okay, cool. But there's jokes. There's just doing the jokes. But even then, even through all that, it was like, he had points, and he was making valid points that I don't care who you are. If you don't understand the points that he was making, then you just only see past your own problem and issue.
Yeah, exactly. And
you just wanted to cancel him basically on the sense of he's not being soft to your issue.
Yeah, he's not like what Kwame Brown called it, the go along, get along gang.
Right.
You're just mad because he's not going along with whatever you're trying to force him to believe.
Even that.
And for me, it's like, because I saw numerous quotes and everything like about what he said. I saw numerous quotes about the people who were coming after him, and I got pissed because the things that he was saying were really true. For example, one thing that he said was, you don't have to fully agree with another person's view of something in order to treat them right or show them compassion.
And you want to know what's wild? The whole transphobic. I'm sorry, man. You know what? I'm gonna hold that thought. Finish your thought.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, that's perfectly right, because like when he was speaking about how, you know, there's a difference between a trans woman and an actual woman. There is, right? An individual who is born a woman at birth as a female has a uterus. They have the ability to give birth to children. They have the ability to give birth to live young. Okay, they go through period pains. They go through different things in their life than you would as a trans woman. That doesn't mean then that because then somebody said that now you feel like people are trying to treat you a different way, or people are trying to do this and that. No, people are just only being logical and rational about what the truth is, and we're still going to treat you with respect. I'm not going to, because I hold the same view as that, but I'm not going to disrespect you as a trans woman. I'm not going to say, oh, I don't want trans people around me. No. I'm not going to do that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. He didn't say anything about the trans experience that was offensive. He didn't say anything that was like, oh, you're not a woman. He said, I agree that gender is defined.
Yes, exactly. It's defined.
And here's my thing. Here's my debate. And my thing is this. I get people have the rights, and I am all an advocate for people having their rights to live their life freely and as whatever they want to do in their life, and being as happy and as free as they can in their life, because you only get one life, and you never know how life is going to be, and you should not have to live afraid or in fear because who you really are. I do it, but here's the thing: once you start saying, "Okay, we're not gonna all these things that we all agreed in society," boom, this is how we're gonna define certain things. You start going out of these boxes and stuff, right? And I hate to sound ignorant. When do we say, at some point, we really have to, when do we say, okay, this is the line?
No, you're right. And you don't sound ignorant. You don't. I fully agree with you. Where is the line?
And that's
where do we draw the line with these things?
And like, I get trans people, I get it. Hey, live your life. I would never tell a trans person to not be unhappy and not to live their life. But my thing is this. At some point, we as a society, I blame white male heterosexual normative for all this stuff, because it was them putting all these toxic traits into the world. Now everybody's rebelling and opening up Pandora's box because all this toxicity that was built in this society and how society was built. So I blame them for that. But at some point, we do have to say, okay, cool. What are our lines and what do we want to?
No, facts.
Because you can't, at some point, can't just let Pandora's box continue to just keep going.
You can't just keep coming up with all these different
Rules,
terms and rules and ideas and changing shit. But like that logically doesn't make sense. Rationally to most people does not make sense. But and you can't force it to make sense if on a rational level. On the flip side, it just doesn't make sense. And I also feel like blame also needs to be apportioned to academics, especially white female, like liberal academics.
Why so?
Because they're the ones pushing a lot of this. Like that whole Latinx thing. Most folks who identify as a Latina or Latino don't want to be called that. They don't want to be called Latinx people. It's just, you can look at any poll, you can interview any Hispanic or any Latino demographic across the country, across various different countries. They don't want to be referred to as that, but yet white liberal academics are pushing that. Why?
And you know something, and this is another point that I want to make, and why I say I don't honestly see what the problem was. Because, like I said, if you have a problem with it, at the end of the day, you have a problem with his message, which is there is a very, very discrete line between the popular crowd, being white people and their norms and their rules, and the minorities.
Yeah.
So, if, like, and I don't want to race bait or whatever, but that's really what his messages are. There is a discrete of advantages. Like, he has a joke, or he talks about how his friend one time was like talking about, oh, I'm going to the women's march and all the women's movement, and he's like, yeah, he's trying to get everybody to go, but nobody wants to go. And he says he texts his friend, she's a woman, and she goes, I hope those white bitches get maced. But then you realize throughout history, all these women movements and all it, hijacked by white women. We don't want black women or anybody else to talk. And so basically, in his whole message, if you really listen to what he was saying, his whole message is there's a discrete line between him and the vast majority of white diaspora of whatever. And something, and my last point about this is why I don't see what's the problem. He literally has he ends his whole show basically talking about how his friend, a close friend of his was trans, and how he basically gave her an opportunity, and how he loved her, and how he basically told her, and how they had a conversation about, just see me as having a human experience. And he was like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I agree. You're a human. You're on this earth. You're living your life. And so, and there's none of that whole stuff about, oh, he said trans women aren't really women and all that. My thing is this, and this is the controversial part. At what point do we define we don't want to get away, we want to get away from labels. We don't want to say this is that and this and that. Why is it, if that's the case, if you don't want to be defined by labels, why do every day we got to come up with a new one?
Ding, 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 ding. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the major point. And I've been thinking this to myself as well. If people keep saying we don't want to be identified by labels, then why continue to come up with new labels? And how the fuck does this make any sense?
I say that to say this. I respect the trans community.
Me too.
I respect people's right to live their life freely and all that. And I would never tell anybody, no, don't. But at some point, we got to say, hey, male and female are two things that you can't say. There's a very, very difference between being able to give life and the ability to have an equipment. Even if there's somebody threw the argument, oh, what about women that can't have kids, but they still were born with the equipment to give kids?
And that's one of my least favorite points that people on the left like making. And this is why people on the left get me pissed off with shit like that as well. Because it's like, dude, you do realize that now we're going into outlier territory where we're talking about individuals who have specific medical conditions that prevent them from having kids, but they were still born with the uterus, with the womb, with all the normal fallopian tubes, all that. That's all there.
You could do all the hormones and all the stuff that you want, and you would never be a woman.
Thank you. And
you would never be able to give life.
Sorry,
you would never be able to give that.
You see, and that's the thing. And what Dave was saying, us saying that and acknowledging that point doesn't mean that we then are going to mistreat you as a human being.
You want to know what Dave was saying?
See you as less. That's not true.
In a nutshell, what Dave was saying is this, and he summed it up in his show. Dave was saying in the hypocrisies of how basically in the LGBT community, usually the white parts, they're always using how much they struggle, how much they look, or whatever, and then they don't realize you're talking to people who literally struggle at every obstacle in their life, black people or minorities. And he's basically saying, he sums it up best. He closes his show with saying, okay, would you stop punching down on my people? Because he said, that's basically what they told him. You punching down on our people. Like, my people or whatever. For anybody that has a problem with what Dave said, or the whole special, I challenge you to do this. Go to it. Actually watch it.
Yeah. And
listen to everything that he said. And if you come away with still hating him for anything that he said, then you are the problem.
Facts.
And that's why I stand.
And if you disagree with us, that's fine. If you disagree with Dave Chapelle, that's fine. And you can tell us why in the comment section. Because this is part of the engagement, to be honest. I would love to hear what other people would have to say on the subject.
Right.
But I feel like as far as where we stand, we're pretty certain about where we stand.
And for me, it's like this. It's not me being homophobic. It's not being transphobic. If you listen to anything that he said, and you still come away with him being hateful and him hating trans people, I genuinely think you are part of parcel the problem.
Yeah.
Because basically what he's saying is this. The problem is this. Everybody wants to be offended.
Yes.
Nobody wants to listen.
Yeah. Facts.
That's really it.
We've created, and we are creating a generation of soft people. There's already a generation of soft people, but we're creating even more softness, so much to the point where it's like even tangible, real empirical facts and logic now has to get thrown away, to not offend you.
And it ain't even about that.
That's ridiculous.
It's not even that. It's how are we going to have conversations and have the actual conversations that we need if to move forward in society, we need to have these conversations. How are we going to be the change that we want to see in the world? We want to see hate gone in there. But every time somebody says something, it's a problem.
Yeah. You don't want to discuss it. You're not interested in engaging in dialogue.
Or you cancel them.
I'm mad. I don't want to talk about this. You just need to change the way you think. Like,
okay, cool.
You see,
that's the problem.
Not gonna work.
And that's the thing. And my thing is this. Like I said, if anybody who had a problem with Dave Chapelle, I would love to have a conversation with them.
Facts, yeah.
Because I would want to know what the problem was. Because when I watched that show for the second time, and I just said, okay, I'm going to watch it. Because at first, when I was half-hearted listening. I was on my phone. I wasn't really paying attention to it. And I was just listening to it. And yeah, at first, when I did that, it was like, oh, wow, this is wild. Ooh, okay, But when I actually sat down and listened and watched the show, I genuinely do not see why people were mad. And I want to know, genuinely, what was wrong with anything you said. If you can find fault or anything that he said, then I genuinely want to know where your stance is. Please let us know in the comment section below or on all our multiple social medias, which is in the title credits and below. With that, we have an artist of the week. You want to shout out? If not, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I have somebody.
I don't know if I got anybody to shout out this week. I probably I do.
Okay. Who you got?
My homie Trevor. He is a rap.
What's his name?
Right there.
Oh, my guy.
Yeah. I'm
Sure you know. I fucks with him. That's my guy.
The man's Trevor from Hawaii. I gotta shout out my homie Trevor.
Shout out to our guy.
He's a really dope, like producer and like rapper, singer. He's a really cool dude. You know, I used to cook up with him quite a bit. We about to get back into cooking up, and you know, him and Santos, aka Rampages, who we shouted out last week. They work very closely together. So,
and if you want to find our guy, you could definitely hit him up on Instagram. That's Trevor Marco. You can find him on Instagram at Trevor M.
MTREVORM.
Bet. You could definitely hit him up. He's definitely one of the coolest guys you can definitely have a conversation with. I remember I had a conversation with him, and we had a conversation about Kanye, like during the presidency, about Kanye West and him running. I'm like, nah, man. But yeah, I met him at like a party, and yeah, he's definitely a dope dude.
Yeah, no, he's a really cool dude, bro. You know, and yeah, we haven't really like seen each other in a minute, so we were talking the other day, like three days ago, bro. We need to like link up and work. But yeah, y'all, please check him out. Check out his music. I'm sure you can find a link to like his like Spotify and all that kind of stuff, you know, through his Instagram and through other sources. And obviously, we'll try and provide the majority of the links, if possible. And yeah, please just check out his stuff.
Trevor Marco. Yeah. Shout out, homie. With that, you got anything else you want to add?
No, sir.
Okay, with that, Culture Clowns, we out.
Peace.